Reading, it changed the way I feel, think, and even how I live. And the funny thing is that, like, if you asked not too long ago, if you was to ask me or even mention reading a book, shoot, let alone outside of school, man, I probably was gonna look at you dumb, stupid, all type of stuff. Cause, man, my thought process is like, I wasn't thinking about reading no book. I wasn't thinking about none of that. Like, what I look like reading a book. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be reading weights. You know what I'm saying? But if you was to put like literally, if you was to give me a 200-page book to read back then, and you paid me to read it front to back, it probably wasn't gonna get read, and I probably was gonna have to give you that money back. So that's just the crazy thing about it, because I freaking hated reading. But I started reading, and honestly, I thought it was just gonna help me learn new information. But what I didn't know was it was actually gonna change a lot of things about me, like how the way I think, feel, shoot, from thought patterns to everything. So today I have 5 ways that reading daily has changed my life. So number one, we're gonna start off with reading. It changed my mindset, and when I say that, it's like most people, they learn from personal experience, and such as myself. Obviously, I mean that's all I speak about on this channel is things that I've went through, but and things that I'm currently going through. But books, they allow you to see and learn from other people's experiences and perspectives. You know, think about it. Books on discipline, purpose, relationships, gratitude, self-worth, all these types of books, they use other people's experiences and lessons to teach you how to navigate your life and your current situation. So it really just reading, it helps you start to think differently before your circumstances change. Like a lot of times, like for example, I read, well, I read this book on it's called The Five Love Languages. I mean, currently I'm not in a relationship, but still it's good to have information like that. So that's a good example. Is like I'm reading that book, which I say read it for yourself. I could say something about it, things about it, but it'd be better if you just read it yourself to fully know. But yeah, even though I'm not in that situation, it really helped me see things as far as from a husband standpoint or a good partner standpoint and what I could do for my partner. But like I said, not in that situation yet, but still. Number two, reading made me more self-aware. And this is definitely true because like reading, it helped me see and identify certain patterns within myself. Like I said earlier, things like my thoughts, shoot, good or bad thoughts. I'm just seeing everything come in. My insecurities that I used to have or still currently fighting through, and understanding my emotions better and even understanding other people's emotions better and how they react and even how I react to certain things. Like recently, one thing I identified was the root and the fear of not only rejection but the the feeling of not feeling enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really just letting outside external things contribute and determine my worth basically. And reading it helped me see a lot of the things that I was thinking come into my mind. Like now it's so much different than how I used to think. It would be a lot of times like looking back, it was so much negativity that just pop up in my mind. It's like I'm feeding it and I didn't even realize it. But now it's like I'll see something negative pop up and I'll discern it. It's like I use my discernment, obviously, and a lot of the thoughts, a lot of your thoughts is not your thoughts, basically. But reading, it just gives you a mirror, if you know what I'm saying, to like reflect on a lot of things that you don't really see in the current moment. So number three, reading, it improved my relationships. So when I say this, books, it changed my understanding of love, appreciation, communication, and shit, gratitude. A great example is like I said earlier, I'm not currently, I am single, but I was in a relationship, and you know, looking back on it, a lot of things. So let me just tell y'all this. I broke up with her, but a lot of things I look back at, and even now seeing, it's like, dang, I would see that I was the problem in this situation, or dang, I was thinking this way, and it's like it really wasn't that way. And it's like a lot of my insecurities that I had of not feeling enough led and bled over to certain problems in the relationship. So therefore, it's like a lot of things that I had, and it was a lot that I had. I had a, what I'm saying, amazing, supportive girlfriend. So it's like, it was a lot I didn't see, and a lot that I just really took for granted and wasn't grateful for. That's why gratitude is a huge part of my life now, because it's plenty of times I look back on and seeing that I've taken a lot of things for granted, whether it was, like I said, a partner, shoot, friends, whether it was even just the present moment itself. Because shoot, I just got a call from my dad, and one of my great uncles just died. So it's like, when you think about that, it's like, dang, I didn't even get to see him one more time before he died. So it's like, books, they really help you find and see the true meaning of relationships, because it helps you see them in a deeper light, I say. And it has really changed my perspective as far as like partnership, and even just basic human to human relationships and interaction. It's changed my perspective on that in as a whole. So it just really made me see things that I couldn't really see in that moment. So like now I do see it. So number 4, reading, it made me take action. So you got to remember, knowledge itself isn't enough. When you read something, yeah, you can read it, good to have in your head, but if you're not applying it, it really does you no good, like, at all. Like, if you're not applying what you're reading, that's basically like having a blueprint to build a house, like an exact step-by-step blueprint, and you looking at it, you like, okay, so that is how you build it, okay. Nah, and then you go and build it yourself by your own blueprint that you made. So it's like, what did you have the blueprint for? You know what I'm saying? So you actually got to apply what you read. But, things like reading about discipline, then actually going to be disciplined, reading about being courage or having courage, and then actually going to face your fears. Like a good starter book, I say, that I recommend. I love this book. It's called The Power of Discipline by Daniel Walter. Yeah, and it's not only a good foundation as far as like just reading more books after that and helping you become like more consistent in reading, but it really teaches you how to not only stay disciplined and consistent, but it teaches you how to make it easy on yourself to stay disciplined and consistent. Because a lot of people, they want to be consistent, they want to be disciplined, but it's really just a motivation talking them through all this. But a lot of people, they kind of make it hard to be disciplined. That's why it's hard for a lot of people to be disciplined. Like, they don't make it easy to be consistent. And one thing the book mentions that I love this rule. It's called the 40% rule. And basically, like, when you maxed out, or you think you hit your threshold, or whatever you think your cap is, like you didn't hit your ceiling, basically that's you're now at 40% and you got 60% left. And I love this because I use this every day when I'm training, shoot, even at the gym, even doing my physical therapy workouts, because I told y'all, I just had rotator cuff surgery like 3 months ago. So, but even when I'm doing my PT workouts, and I'm starting to feel that burn and stuff, and it's like, dang, that's when it kick in. It's like, all right, I'm at 40%. It really helps you like just power through that last 60%, because you, in your mind, you got 60% left. But yeah, that's a good book. I recommend The Power of Discipline, Daniel Walter. Good book. Definitely read that. But the value isn't in the books themselves. It's applying what you learn, basically. So number 5, the last way that reading has changed my life is reading has changed the person I am becoming. And this is because the biggest change isn't what I learned from all the books that I've read so far and continue to read, but it's the person I'm becoming while learning the knowledge and learn from what I learned from the books, using it. You know, I'm basically I'm becoming somebody who's more patient, more grateful, more emotionally mature, more intentional with things I do, and it's helping me even with as far as like being more confident. But every book you read, it slightly changes your identity and who you are as a person. So when you think about it, reading has not only changed my mindset, it's increased my self-awareness, improved my relationships, made me take more action, should even change who I'm becoming. So just think about it. What if you read 10 pages of a book every day for a year? Just think about what that could do. Just try to read daily. Just try to, I'm telling you, it really will change your whole mindset and your life in general. Just try to read daily. I'm gonna definitely make a video on how to make reading easy for you, because man, I know with our attention spans nowadays, it's hard to sit there and read. I had to battle through that too. But just remember, one book, it ain't gonna change your life, but I guarantee you plenty of books over time definitely will. But with that being said, y'all be safe. I love y'all. Stay blessed. Stay grateful and appreciative for sure. And y'all just stay safe out here, like I said, and just spread positivity and wake up every day and choose to heal the world instead of adding more hurt to it. So that being said, y'all have a good one. Trey out.